Tonight, a closer look at the Uskamira files and those hundreds of under-the-radar payments to his sister. Plus, another minister says, he no ina that. And Big Brother on the bus, the National Bus Company rolls out AI cameras and electric fleets. Plus, we'll talk to the NHI General Manager about that contract for Belmopan Medical Lab that may be at the root of a murder plot. Also, 77 animals, one mission will take you inside a growing grassroots rescue in Valley of Bees. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Crank.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
The biggest soccer season is here. Are you ready to experience the front row from home? Experience stadium level immersion with Samsung's latest technology. Perfect for every room. Your favorite Crystal UHD and QLED smart TVs are ready for you. Now at the best price. From your 32-inch personal fan zone at just $369 to the massive 85-inch home stadium experience for only $2,579. We have the perfect upgrade for every fan. Get yours with confidence at Cellular World, the authorized distributor in Belize, and receive a 1-year warranty. Visit us today and take advantage of these promotions. Valid until June 15th. Upgrade to the front row at home. Experience with Samsung and Cellular World.
It's not just cigarettes. Vapes, hookahs, cigars, and other tobacco products all release harmful smoke and toxic chemicals. When you smoke or vape, that cloud doesn't just disappear. It becomes second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke that others breathe in. This smoke can cause cancers, diabetes, lung disease, and heart problems. It can kill anyone exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, step outside, far from others. We all deserve to breathe clean air.
Hi, I'm Ava.
And I'm Aiden. We're your AI guides to all things NHI.
In this video, we will guide you on how to become an NHI member. You, and if you have a child, must have a Social Security card. To get an SSB card is easy. Visit socialsecurity.org.bz/card-replacement to view the required documents that are needed.
There is a fee of only $5 Belize for a first-time issue and $26 Belize for a replacement card. Newborns can use their mother's SSB card for up to 2 months.
With your SSB card, you and all family members can register at any NHI contracted clinic of your choice.
You and members of your family can now access health care when needed.
Please note that once you are registered with a clinic, you must go to that same clinic when you need medical care. Look out for more NHI guides like this.
Maria's was planned to open in 2020, and that's when COVID came. I thought the dream was dead. People would come to my house, they would purchase the coffees from there. That gave me the little confidence, like, okay, I could do this. Atlantic Bank, of course, helped me take the next step. Once I had their support, it was smooth sailing from there. This business is my life. It's literally what provides my family with food and employment. I employ 3 family members, so it's really everything for us.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with millions of riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for a journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The Minister of Home Affairs, Oscar Mira, he's been dominating the headlines ever since May 30th when police arrested prominent UDP provocateur Alberto August and charged him for cyberbullying Mira with a Facebook post. Since then, Mira has been taking daily floggings on social media, mocked with AI imagery, battered by comments, and increasingly exposed for allegedly enriching his family by his former political rival, John Saldivar, who has made a succession of stinging Facebook posts exposing the current Belmopan area rep. And certainly there are leaks streaming in from all sides. We're still poring over scores of entries from the Smart Stream system showing hundreds of payments to Oscar Mira's sister Jenny between 2020 and 2025. Tonight, in part 2, we go inside the paperwork, where a series of cloned payment totals tell a story that defies the laws of economics, agriculture, and common sense. Jules Vasquez reports.
On paper, the procurement looks meticulous. The tender document for Mira's fresh fruits and veggies outlines exactly what Minister of State Oscar Mira's Ministry of Defense was contracting to purchase to feed the army. The line items denote precision. Exactly 2,104 apples at $1 each, 1,000 pounds of bananas, 125 pounds of cauliflower. But while the products, the quantities, and the prices may have varied from month to month, the leaks from the Smart Stream ledger show an alarming number of identical payments made to Minister Mira's sister Jenny. During the summer of 2023, the system processed 4 separate invoices across July and August. Different weeks, different reference numbers, but every single invoice was paid out for the exact same figure, $8,608.99. The end of July actually saw a double day when the same payment was repeated twice on the same day. The pattern might beg the question of how hundreds of pounds of highly volatile local produce add up to the exact same price 4 times in a row. But Looking beyond that, our review shows this pattern was operating on a loop for years. In the early stages, the figure $5,025.74 appears at least 14 times under entirely different invoice codes. The sum $6,876.33 repeats at least 10 times. As the operation grew, the figure simply scaled up right to the brink of the $10,000 threshold, but the pattern remained. The number $9,124.06 was recycled 7 times. The amount $7,391.40 replayed 6 times. But the most glaring irregularity is those single day sprees. On May 13th, 2024, the ministry processed 8 separate payments on the exact same afternoon. Every single payment was made for precisely $461.25. On August 19, 2025, a single run at the Western Regional Hospital approved 4 consecutive invoices simultaneously, each one for exactly $543.25. And last night we showed you that $18,000 payment that was blocked and split in late April of 2025. It wasn't the first time they used that exact formula. 2 months prior, the system ran the same numbers. Invoices 11448 and 11449 were pushed through back to back for $9,270.77 and $8,838.49. It's the exact same pair of numbers that we saw in the April split, down to the single penny. A striking pattern of repeat behavior, leading to hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments over 5 years, all under the Ministry of Finance radar. And all paid out to the former Minister of State's sister, Jenny Mira, whose vendor number was much in use in the SmartStream system, appearing as many as 898 times in 5 years. We have only seen 497 entries valued at $1.7 million. We did ask Minister Mira if the tenders were awarded based on competitive bidding, but he didn't respond to our queries. The Mira family is well known to own and operate a vegetable stall in Belmopan.
But how widespread is this practice of evading oversight by keeping the payments on the 10 grand, and does it constitute fraud? Well, in accounting terminology, it's called structuring, which is the deliberate act of breaking up a single large financial transaction into multiple smaller ones for the clear purpose of evading a legal reporting threshold. It would certainly fall under deceptive practices and clearly suggest corruption, but how widespread is it? Today we asked another minister if he was familiar with the practice.
No, I can only speak of things that are in my ministry and that I am aware of. We operate according to what the regulations are. And in fact, the team that's being built at the NBC, I can tell you, we have made it very clear to them that besides competence, which is very important, integrity is critical. A big thing that has adversely affected the industry has been issues where we can't have people who are doing their jobs fully and properly. And in the case of NBC, we are trying to make sure that we build our people so they can serve our customers as best as possible.
But do you agree that this is a long-standing practice governments before and the current government doing?
Oh, you mean in the case of the...
In the case of doing the transactions below $10,000 so it doesn't have to go through the scrutiny?
Well, I am new to the government system, so I don't know if that's the practice or not. We are here to do what has to be done, and that's what we do. So I can only speak again to what we do, and we have to do what is right. It's just as simple as that.
But there hasn't been any advice maybe from your senior colleagues being like, you know, you could do this, you could do that. If you want, you could send money through less than 10,000. Maybe they mentioned it to you?
No, I hope you record this and you put this there. People know who they're talking to when they're talking with me, right? I have my standards that I've maintained before I came into government, and by the grace of God, we will maintain them until we finish our service to our people. That's how I operate, and I believe and I hope that all my colleagues operate the same way, because that's why we were brought into government, because people have confidence in us that we will do the right thing, and that's not hard to do if you just go to work and know that you're serving people. Then it's not hard to do at all.
Do you think that the government should open up the smart stream to be viewed and scrutinized by the public?
Well, I mean everything that we have as resources is really the resources of the people. So that's a better question for you to ask maybe the financial secretary, because for whatever reasons there may be issues that have confidentiality integrated into it. I don't know. I don't work in the Ministry of Finance, so I can only speak again for what we do, right? And when we sit at the conference table in our ministry, I remind everybody in there that the seats that we're sitting on are owned by the people of Belize.
We'll keep following the story, which is now pointing to an array of MIRA-affiliated enterprises that have benefited from political favor under the PUP. For his part, MIRA has issued a statement saying that lies and misinformation are being circulated by his former political opponent. When we come back, we'll show you how thieves burglarized the Cancer Society, plus the NBC introduces smart cameras and electric buses to address commuter complaints. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarter-final winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Belize Blue Bull, the beaches, the jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Paperworks Entertainment and SJ Promotion presents the official Belizean Jamaican link-up. The Father's Day edition. It's an all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Featuring the international reggae dancehall singing sensation stage boss, Wayne Wonder. To mash up the stage alongside the General Super G for the first time in Belize, Steely Bashman plus Belize's top DJs. Get your general tickets for $60 and VIP for $150 at Madisco, Stone Music Outlet and VIP Wireless. And lock the date for the official Belizean Jamaican link-up all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sponsored by
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Paperworks Entertainment and SJ Promotion presents the official Belizean Jamaican link-up. The Father's Day edition. It's an all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Featuring the international reggae dancehall singing sensation stage boss, Wayne Wonder. To mash up the stage alongside the General Super G for the first time in Belize, Steely Bashman plus Belize's top DJs. Get your general tickets for $60 and VIP for $150 at Madisco, Stone Music Outlet and VIP Wireless. And lock the date for the official Belizean Jamaican link-up all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sponsored by
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
He was accused of the murder of a 69-year-old Crooked Tree resident, but Maurice Usher pleaded guilty to manslaughter and will only spend 10 years in jail. Justice Derek Sylvester handed down his sentence today for the death of Geoffrey Crawford, which occurred on September 29th of 2021. Justice Sylvester noted the early guilty plea, which took a third of the time of his sentence, and when added to his time on remand, he told Usher Jr. that he only had 10 years, 9 days left to serve behind bars. Another man, Patrick Young Jr., was charged for the murder last year, but his case is in the early stages. Police took another gun off the streets yesterday afternoon. Around 4:30, officers conducting a search on Central American Boulevard stopped taxi driver Emerson West and searched his van. They found a silver and black .380 pistol and 14 live rounds of ammunition concealed in a compartment beneath the van center console. The 30-year-old appeared in magistrate's court today, where he was charged with keeping an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. He pleaded not guilty to both charges. Bail was denied and West was remanded to the Belize Central Prison until August 10th, 2026. A Belize City mother is out on bail after being charged with 5 criminal offenses following an altercation that happened in a shop between her and another customer. 44-year-old Ana Celia Castillo appeared in court today before Magistrate Nishad Mohammed, where she was read 5 criminal offenses. 1 count of aggravated assault upon Keisha Flowers, 1 count of resistance of lawful arrest, another count of aggravated assault upon a police officer, 1 count of wounding a police officer, and 1 count of using certain insulting words. Castillo pleaded not guilty to all the charges and explained her account of what occurred to the magistrate. She also claims that she was injured and abused by the police officer while she was being detained.
I was detained sake of a young lady that was in Mr. Sam's shop. I come and buy, and she come and buy too, but you know when problem, the kids will walk around and make problem. And she said I had a knife at her with a pepper spray. But I not do that, but I have pepper spray and my bora. I never have no knife because I know me are there right now.
Okay, so what are
the issue? And then the police look like them fishy man come pick up me. So the police choke me, haul one of my breast and I bite out the hand. So I get charged for that and I get charged for the they show up on my foot when the police walk, the police girl walk on my foot. Okay. Yeah.
All of this happened while they were detaining you?
Yes, while they was detaining me. I was 2 days, yes, I go to make a report right now. When I go sign in on Friday.
Castillo was offered bail of $4,000 plus 2 sureties of $2,000 each with stringent conditions. She was able to make bail and plans to file a report against the officers who she claims used excessive force on her. The Belize Cancer Society is a non-profit NGO, so who would break in and burglarize the place? Well, that's what police are asking tonight after their building was burglarized sometime between last night and this morning. We spoke to a representative from their board of directors today about it. She said that most of the stolen items were taken from their infusion center.
We were very, very disappointed to learn that there was a break-in overnight and that the burglars came in and cut the electrical wires, which totally dismantled the security system. So, and as a result, they were able to choose meticulously what it is they wanted. In this case, they took a large TV from our infusion center, which accommodates our clients for treatments. And they took some petty cash. We'd never have large amounts of money in the office, but we had a very small amount in petty cash. They found that, and they also moved around and just took small items, but we don't know yet the entire inventory of items stolen, as it's still under investigation. Well, in addition to some of the items stolen, I know was our office cell phones. So we're in the process of replacing those and to make sure that, the office is accessible to the patients and anyone who needs to speak with us. There's obviously burglars going around scouting out areas. They probably hear of the Cancer Society, see our fundraising efforts and whatever, and think we have money here. So it's kind of concerning, not only for us, but the surrounding neighborhood and all other companies, that this is happening. And it's sad that since we're here to serve the community, and our cancer patients, that they would do this.
They say a man's best friend is his dog, but still we see many strays on streets countrywide. While one 22-year-old Belmopan resident is finding a solution for that. And what started off with just a stray cat being taken care of at her home is now a major mission. Tonight, we take a closer look at Caitlin Cabanas and her dream of building a full-fledged animal shelter.
Most 22-year-olds are chasing careers, planning their futures, or figuring out where life will take them next. Caitlin Cabanas is trying to figure out how to feed 77 rescued animals. While her degree is in informational technology, her days are spent rescuing abandoned cats and dogs, finding them medical care, searching for donations, and matching them with families willing to give them a second chance. What began with one stray cat showing up at her family's home has grown into one of the most ambitious grassroots animal rescue efforts in Belize. Driven not by cash or clout, just a young woman who simply refuses to look away when an animal needs help.
We saw so much need in our community, so many animals that were abandoned. We started with cats. It started with one cat that just showed up in our yard, and we started feeding it. And one day she showed up with kittens in her mouth. We let her in, and over time, more and more cats showed up. And also, so we've been rescuing cats on and off since 2015, but we officially started doing this in an organized manner, January 2025. So that is when we made our Facebook page and started accepting cats that the community was rescuing as well. And we do it because we really love animals. We see that they are in need and we want to help. Also, the dogs, we adopted these dogs off of Miss Yesenia, who was rescuing them since 2021. Unfortunately, she had a domestic issue and she had a stroke, so we adopted these dogs from her in October 2025. So that's how we ended up with all of these dogs.
Today, Caitlin and her family care for 53 cats, 16 dogs, and 8 puppies, animals that were abandoned, neglected, or left with nowhere else to go. The cats stay at her home in Belmopan in rooms that she has turned into Cat's Kingdom, and the dogs were transferred to her family's property in Valley of Peace after she received a donation from Builders Hardware, which allowed her to build 4-compartment enclosure. With that small donation, she has done much, and now she's ready to build a complete sanctuary.
We want to aspire to have at least another 4 enclosures for the dogs so that we can accept more from the community, as well as a proper cement structure with different rooms for the cats right in this area where we are, so that the cats can actually have a place where they can be comfortable and safe, where they can recover while we find them forever homes. Right now, the cats are at my house and it's very packed. There's no more space, and I really want a place where they can really develop and be socialized while they wait for their homes.
Every month, thousands of dollars are needed to cover food, veterinary care, cleaning supplies, and daily necessities. A single sack of food lasts only a few days. Despite the challenges, Caitlin continues moving forward.
One of the greatest challenges is definitely finding food for them on the day-to-day basis. In a month, I spend about $2,000 between the cats and the dogs, their food, their cleaning supplies, materials, vet checkups, everything that I need. It does amount to a lot. So on a day-to-day basis, just finding the food. For cats, I have to buy a sack of food every 4 days, and it's very expensive. So I'm very blessed to have a community of people that whenever I need, they do donate. So it's not all out of my pocket. I do get support in that way. Also for the dogs, sometimes restaurants give bones or, chicken skin that they have left over that they have no use for, and they donate it to us. So that is such a big blessing for us.
And that support fuels her to keep moving forward to a future where no animal has to be turned away because there is no room left.
Not only am I passionate, my family, we're all doing this together as a team. We're very passionate about this because these are God's creatures, as humans, it is our responsibility to be stewards of God's creation and be kind and empathetic. So I do this because I want to help them and be the voice that they need, and rescue as many as I can, find homes for as many as I can, and continue to inspire others to do the same. If you had told me 10 years ago that I would end up with this many animals, I would have laughed and said no. And then if I thought about it a little bit more, I would have said, you know what, that makes sense. I mean, I've been an animal lover since I was very young. My entire family, we have been animal lovers, and we grew up with animals around us. So this just feels like a natural progression, and just knowing my heart and knowing that I can't say no and I can't push back and I just keep saying yes, give me the cats, bring the dogs, it just makes sense that we have come to this point, and I'm very proud of the progress we have made, and I look forward to being able to make a bigger impact in my community.
And this is simply a rehabilitation program, as persons in the community can adopt these animals and give them forever homes.
My goal is not just to give these animals to just get them to a home quickly, but to make sure that it is a permanent home where they will actually be able to thrive, have the food that they need, the resources. So I do have a very meticulous process how I go about seeing who will adopt these animals. With the cats as well, I ask for a video of the home to see the inside and the outside, to see if it is secure. My cats are indoor cats, so I need to make sure they will have their litter box and their food and everything that they need. And I also have an adoption form for the cats, so that is the process.
In a world that often measures success through titles, achievements, and high-paying jobs, Cabanas chose a different dream of canine and feline contentment. Jaleesa Roberts, 7 News.
Anyone wishing to support the initiative can donate to Atlantic Bank account number 212-005-4981. That's 212-005-4981 under Caitlin Cabanas, or contact the number 608-4630, and that's 608-4630. The lab tonight, the National Health Insurance Program is clarifying its involvement with the Belmopan Medical Laboratory following questions surrounding the business dispute between lab co-owner Dr. Naun Bonilla and his business partner Hannah Foreman, which police believe led to a murder plot. NHI General Manager Dr. Ramon Figueroa told us today that while the laboratory had successfully met the requirements to become an NHI service provider in Belmopan, no contract was ever finalized due to an ownership dispute between the partners.
In the process, we pay more attention to the clinics, because any support service to be able to provide a service needs to have an existing clinic issuing referrals. So the Belmopan Medical Lab, we as I said, we went in, evaluated the place, and met the standards. We informed them, as we informed everybody else. And then subsequently, so we sent them, again, as we send everybody else, a draft copy of a contract and an itemized list of what services we cover, lab services, with prices, expecting them to either agree or disagree with what we're proposing. That was the situation with Ms. Foreman. We had submitted, she had expressed that they were in agreement, but then we got requests from her stating that they would want to change the name of the company. I believe it went from the Belmopan Medical Lab to Belmopan Diagnostic Services Limited. To make the story short, when Dr. Bonilla was informed that, because we knew that Dr. Bonilla was part of the company, initial company, he said that wasn't, it wasn't something that they had agreed on. That it was something that came out of the blues for him, and he was concerned. Actually, Dr. Bonilla came here and verbally expressed to us the problem he had with Miss Hannah long before they had expressed an interest to become part of NHI. Problems in the management, in the financials, in accountability. And so he was pursuing a legal option. So I expressed to him that the only way we can stop the process is if he sent us a letter, official letter, expressing his concerns and requesting that we put a hold on any dealings. We even got a letter from his lawyer stating that there was a legal process and that it was going to be litigated in court. So we informed, in summer, we did inform both of them that we could not sign a contract with Ms. Hannah and the company because this was a matter for the court now to resolve. The business they had a business dispute between the two investors, so we could not proceed with signing any contract until such time as this was resolved in court.
And they were chosen before the legal dispute became known. So would the partnership still have been considered for service provision if the partners had sorted out the dispute? Figueroa said that they prefer to not be associated with persons in tricky situations.
We do a public tender inviting support services to apply to become part of NHI. So everybody who is interested can apply. And she was one of the many that applied to become part of the NHI. We do site visits to all the applicants to make sure that, number one, they're certified by the Ministry of Health, they have the license, and that they meet the basic standards. When we went there, they have a nice lab. Actually, the Ponia was there when we went to do the site visit. So we knew from the beginning that they were both working together. So she was just part of the general labs that had expressed an interest to participate.
Okay, if the partnership were to return to a functional state free of legal disputes, would they still be able to sign the contract for the provider to be a provider?
This is something that we are discussing and that we are going to get a legal opinion because from our standpoint, we don't want to deal with anybody that has had this kind of legal issue. We have other lab providers so the services will be there, but personally, I don't want to deal with an entity that has that kind of a background.
And much of the public misconception came about because not everyone knows how these NHI contracts work. One of the issues that NHI had was this media house describing the contracts as lucrative. Dr. Figueroa explained how they work.
I think one of the things that came out, and we've been accused that we're offering lucrative contracts. I have a copy of the contract that we can share. It's a basic standard contract that states which company we're contracting with, when does it start, when is the finish of the contract, what are the conditions, should we choose to terminate a contract. Basic standard contract. And at the end, there's a list of what, in the case of lab, what lab services we cover. And we have a list of prices. Those prices are standard across all lab providers. So that's a negotiation. We tell them, this is what we pay. You agree or you don't agree. Can you provide those services or can you not provide those services? So once they agree to that, then we hold them to that contract. It's difficult to say. I don't know who came up with that the contract is a lucrative contract because it depends. When you have been awarded that contract, your income is dependent on a clinic sending referrals to that particular lab. So let's say we have a clinic that's a registered NHI provider in Belmopan. They see clients, they see members that are registered with them. They go to a doctor, the doctor examines them, they need a lab test, they issue a referral for that lab test. The patient has a choice to go to any of the other labs. So at the end of the day, the income for that particular lab is dependent on one, whether they get referrals, two, whether the patient decides that they want to go there. And so you can't predict what the income is for that particular lab. It's a competitive environment. They can go to other labs.
Dr. Figueroa explained that when it comes to labs, the payment is a little different, and it is by no means a get-rich-quick scheme for those in the medical field.
It's based on the clinics issuing referrals and the patient deciding to go to that particular lab.
Okay, do service providers get paid based on each registered NHI person in that area, regardless of whether they access the services or not within the given time frame?
The clinics, the clinics, yes, but they have to understand that that's a method of payment. We use a capitation payment. It's a acceptable means of payment, which is what you do is you register in a particular, people choose to come to your clinic and register. And we calculate a per member per month payment. And what that does, it distributes the risk across the whole population. So the basic principle is that some people will come and some people will come and use the services quite a bit, and some others won't use. So the risk is spread across the population. It's used in a lot of other countries in terms of
Stay tuned, because when we come back, we'll show you the NBC. It's introducing smart cameras and electric buses to address commuter complaints. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
If you're looking for more than just a job, at the Colby Foundation, you can build a career with purpose.
Every day, our team plays an important role in safety, rehabilitation, and second chances.
We help prepare the men and women in our care to return to their communities and families ready to make a positive change.
The Colby Foundation is now recruiting motivated, disciplined, and committed individuals to join our team as supervisors, prison wardens, medical staff, chefs, and office clerks.
We mentor our staff members and provide hands-on training. We work with our residents through counseling, rehabilitation, educational programs, and spiritual guidance.
Colby offers competitive salaries, annual vacation, transportation, meals, medical care, and opportunities for growth.
Start a career that challenges you to make a difference and develop new skills.
Come, join us in making a difference.
Take the first step toward a career that matters. Apply to the Colby Foundation today.
Escape to the reigning spa of the year. Belize's premier wellness experience, where award-winning luxury meets pure tranquility. Book now, 20% off spa treatments, 50% off accommodations, only at Naya Resort and Spa.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize Electricity Limited is pleased to announce the holding of its 2025 annual general meeting at the BEL corporate headquarters at 2.5 miles Philip Golson Highway, Belize City, Belize, at 3:00 p.m. on Thursday, June 18th, 2026. For registration purposes, shareholders are advised to bring along a valid identification such as a social security card. Shareholders who are unable to attend may choose, and we encourage you to exercise this right, to appoint your proxy, or you can simply appoint the company's executive chairman or the corporate secretary as your proxy to represent you at the AGM. Proxy forms can be submitted at the BEL corporate headquarters at 2.5 miles Philip Golson Highway or via email at shares@bel.com.bz no later than 5:00 p.m. on June 16th, 2026. For more information or assistance, contact BEL's Securities Officer at 501-227-0954, extension 1512.
Trying to twist the truth, Tracy tells us how NHI is funded by this PUP government.
Truth be told, it's now being funded from the Bolida proceeds and from the public purse.
What she does not tell us is that if it was left to her, there would be no Bolida proceeds to finance NHI because she was the one who oversaw the renewal of the corrupt UDP's Brad Bolida contract.
And the Gaming Control Board, Madam Speaker, came under my direct oversight.
Neither would there be the $2 million a year which sports alone now receives from Puwi Bolida under this PUP government. Because under Tracy and UDP, $2 million annually is what the entire government was getting from Brad's Bolida. That overall figure is no more than $20 million annually, a portion of which goes to the official charities fund and of course to finance NHI. So when she tells you
the promise of NHI is to expand, and I repeat, access to health care.
She should also tell you that if it was left to her, the UDP and Brads, there would be no such promise for the expansion of healthcare to Belizeans. Stop trying to twist the truth, Tracy. Thanks to the PUP for take back for we Bolida, for Ono and Brads.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
There was a brazen attempted robbery in Orange Walk this afternoon around 1 p.m. 47-year-old Ofemio Solis, a Belizean delivery man, was walking on Baker Street when in front of Sunny's store he was approached from behind by an armed man wearing a black and red helmet who grabbed his hands from behind and pointed at what appeared to be a 9mm pistol at him. Fearing for his life, Solis cooperated and placed his hands behind his back and continued to walk towards Sunny's store. The assailant attempted to pull him back outside, but instead let him go, ran about 10 feet down the street and escaped on a black motorcycle driven by another man. Police are investigating. One of the most common complaints among many about Belize's public transportation system is the prevalence of standees. This happens because drivers load the aisles of buses with as many commuters as possible, despite the discomfort and safety concerns. But the National Bus Company is cracking down on this with the use of telematics technology. Cameras have now been installed in the electric buses so that the company can monitor what's happening while the buses are on the road. Courtney Menzies got to see how it works today, and here's that story.
The National Bus Company has added 2 new electric buses to its fleet. But apart from the new additions, these buses and some of the others already on the road are now equipped with cameras. The cameras have 2 main objectives: to ensure there are no standees and to monitor and track the location of the buses. Minister Dr. Louis Zabenet told us more.
We'll be able to monitor the bus from a control room and know where it is on the highway system across the country, and be able to tell things like the speed of the bus. Also to see if there are any standees in the bus, what's happening inside the bus, monitor the performance of the driver and the conductor. That is a very, very important innovation for us, as it helps us with managing the operations of the company, and also with, of course, providing better service to our commuters that are our customers.
Decided on implementing this initiative. It came because of the amount of complaints we were receiving. Of course, there are standards, as the minister had said, the driving patterns. Commuter safety had to be the first step for it. And so we invested in having the telematics installed. So at our control center, we'll be able to see driver patterns, whether or not there are standees on the buses. And of course, it goes in tandem with our system that we have at the office, where commuters can call in and say that these are the several issues that they're experiencing on the road, and we're able to track it based on the bus routes that they have. So,
But aside from that, these cameras also come with another futuristic feature.
Does also it tracks the drivers with AI. So if we notice that one of the drivers might be sleepy or distracted, from the system itself, we'll get an alert from the company saying that this driver is on focus or he's not as putting attention to the road as he should. And then we can either call the conductor to notify the driver to pay attention. But then that also works well, because as soon as he gets to a terminal, we are able to change that driver for somebody that might be alerted. As that bus leaves the terminal, we get a notification that it has left either the terminal, any of the stops that we have designated within the program itself, and then we get a recording. So then from there we can see, okay, this bus left. If there's any standees, then the administrators will contact the driver immediately to let him know that he's violating, and to go in the norms and the regulations that we have as the National Bus Company.
These aren't the only upgrades coming. The ministry plans to bring in 18 more electric buses and add a new premium service.
We have a new category called premium, right? So we've had the express buses and, of course, the regular runs. The premium now will be for buses that are 7 years or younger, meaning that we want the highest quality buses. They'll have Wi-Fi and all of that. These buses are still not in that category yet, but these will be for express runs. And again, it's just a information to the public that NBC is doing what it said it would do, and hopefully by August, September, we could get in most of those 20 buses that we are planning to bring in.
And the minister assured the public that it's not tax dollars that are paying for the buses.
Buses are being paid for by the cash flows generated by the National Bus Company. It is not coming from the coffers of the government of Belize. That is why we gave a model, a public-private partnership model, because then it has to be the company, out of its value that it creates, that will be able to make it grow and be able to do things that it needs to do for customers.
Each of the new buses cost $72,000. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
But what about the standees on the independent buses? Well, the CEO in the ministry said that they will be cracking down on those too.
Indeed, standees is an enforcement issue, and through the Department of Transport, we are working on that. I have said to the CTO that we need to conduct more strategic operations geared at targeting these buses that continue to carry standees. The law is clear that if it is that you have standee, then the driver can be issued a ticket. The ticket is going to cost you more than what the standee is going to pay. So we're hoping that by enforcement and issuing of tickets, that it will deter the companies from allowing standees on their buses.
And while the buses are getting upgrades, when will the NBC find its new CEO? Dr. Zabani said the board is working on it.
I know the board has been looking at that, so again, that's a question for the chairperson. But I suspect that within the next few months, all of that will be settled. We have a very good network that the NBC has put into place. So I feel comfortable with who are in different regional manager positions. And that's why things are flowing as they are.
As part of GOB's Greening Belize initiative, which aims to plant 1 million trees by 2035, today government CEOs visited our Lady of Fatima RC School in Roaring Creek to plant trees with the students across their school grounds. Both the Cabinet Secretary and the CEO for the Ministry of Sustainable Development participated in the activity, and here's how it went.
This is a fantastic program. Cabinet decided that we're going to plant 1 million trees because we have to do something. If you will recall, some years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was, we had this fire that damaged a lot of the pine ridge forest, and with the storms and so on. So we've lost some vegetation. And so the cabinet instructed that we have to plant back trees. We have to plant more trees. It's good for us. We're an environmental country. We believe in keeping the environment green and clean. The next generation have to have something left for them. So this is a fantastic idea. The CEOs got together and said, look, we want to get in on this program. And so we want to plant as many of these million trees as we can. Hopefully it will set a good example. So what we're doing today here is not only are we planting trees in the first school we've started it, close to Belmont, but we are giving the children trees so they can take them home and they can plant a tree at home. And so the plan is 5 years, 1 million trees, 250,000 trees a year. And I appeal to everybody who will hear this, plant a tree.
Well, we all know the importance of planting trees. I don't think we need to persuade anybody about that. But I think what's most important is that the CEOs recognize that the children are the future of our country. And if it is that we intend to plant 1 million trees, it's not only us that can do it at the government. It's the future that would have that task. So I think it was very important that they recognize that and that they have bought into the idea. We need to reach out to the children. And that's our first phase of this program.
Jerry Enriquez, election activist, has penned another Freedom of Information request. This time he's asking the government for information on the redistricting exercise. He told us what's behind this latest FOIA request.
Yesterday, I submitted a Freedom of Information request to the Elections and Boundaries, basically to update or to provide some information as to the status of the redistricting process. The Prime Minister had promised that this would be done by the end of 2025, if not the end of 2026. So we're midway of 2026 and we're not hearing anything about the progress of the redistricting from the Elections and Boundaries Commission. And people have a right to transparency and people have a right to know what is going on. How far have they reached? When is the timeline? What is the process like? What kind of mapping information are they using? All of those kinds of information we need to know, and the people need to be along with the process. So this work, they're working in secrecy, and I don't think that is fair, and I don't think it is right.
And do you, at this stage, still give the government the benefit of the doubt that they will get the redistricting done within by the end of this year?
Well, listen, we've been in and out of court for various issues that could have been avoided had the government just followed the Constitution. And this matter and all the court costs that the people's money being used for court cases to fight against the people's right to a fair and constitutionally divided electoral divisions, we cannot continue.
And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching With Your News. I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great evening. We'll be back here tomorrow at 6.